Well, thank you very much indeed for joining us. We really appreciate you taking the time today to do that.
It's my pleasure.
Coming to the conference as President-Elect, it's great to be here in San Antonio, isn't there? It's great to see so many people coming together. And
it is, and of course now this is my home state because I'm at Texas A&M College Station. It's about a 3.5-hour drive from here, so I got to come here without having to go through the TSA.
And in Texas, there are lots of great examples of engineering excellence, aren't there? A lot of companies here, Texas really recognizes the importance of engineering.
It really does, yeah.
So what are some of the things that you really want to kind of concentrate on in the next year?
Okay, well, a couple things I would like to try to work on. First of all, I think college debt today is pretty much unsustainable. You know, this last year, college debt's passed credit card debt, and I think we really need to deal with that. And I think one thing we can do is to encourage more students to start out at a 2-year school and then transfer to a 4-year school, because the 2-year schools just concentrate purely on teaching, while 4-year schools more, or at least research universities certainly concentrate on research also. They're both important, but that takes money, and so I think if we can encourage more students to start going through a 2-year program. I know in our institution we've got a program with our local community college where a student can go there for 2 years and actually take a course each semester on our campus and participate in student activities, and then transfer into Texas A&M, and time they graduate they've saved about $10,000, and they still get a really good experience. I think one thing to facilitate this, though, is better counseling, because in too many cases, if a student does start at a 2-year school, they'll, if they don't get good counseling, they take courses that then they can't transfer, and so they end up with maybe a semester of credits that they can't transfer into a baccalaureate degree.
I mean, counseling is really important, isn't it? And actually something which often gets overlooked, because in a profession that travels as quickly as this one does, it's easy to get left behind and not be able to give that kind of advice to young people coming through.
And that's another thing too, on the K through 12 level, a lot of students don't know what engineering is. A lot of the counselors really don't have a good understanding of engineering, so they can't give a good advice to the students. And so I think ASEE can work more to facilitate that and let students know what engineering is, because I think in too many cases in high school science classes, engineering and science gets mixed, and they think science is engineering or vice versa, and they need to know the difference. Because engineering really is, well, in a way, engineering is really applied science. You take the theory and the principles of science and apply them to real-world situations, so you can invent a product. It's something that's really useful.
Well, I guess that's the $64,000 question, if you like, probably a lot more than that now, which is we all recognize the importance of bringing younger people into engineering. How do you do it?
Well, I think you need to get them excited about the possibilities in engineering. I think a really good thing to do is to really promote science fairs, especially the ones where they can, build a simple device or improve a device, and they can really get excited about something that's really hands-on, and that's going to excite them, and then build on that. Because one problem we have with students that come into college, if they haven't had the math and science background, they're really lost, and so you need to start that early and build on it. And so I think science fairs and that sort of thing can get them interested. Now the thing we need to work on is to keep the interest, especially with female students. I used to judge science fairs quite a bit, and I would notice there was as many girls, sometimes more girls than boys, up until about middle school, and then it would drop off. And I think it's also a social issue. I think, unfortunately, too many girls think engineering is unfeminine or something, and we need to work on that. And in some areas, we're making a lot of progress, like biological engineering, because I think women tend to want to help and nurture maybe more than guys. Maybe that's a stereotype.
So there's a lot we need to get done, a lot to work on.
Exactly.
Well, thank you ever so much indeed for joining us today, and I hope you enjoy the conference, and thank you again.